told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I know I've not posted for a long time, but this video will be a series. I want to take you through how you can be a Lego transcript. So this will be a tutorial. I'll start from scratch. If you have not done any Lego work, any Lego transcription, don't worry, I'll take you step by step. So the first thing you need to know, we are going to start from the general guideline for the Lego transcription. All right, so I'm going to start with this. Okay, so I know most of you, if you have been transcribing, you are familiar with the filler words, the false starts, the starters. All right, so let me take you through. So what you need to know first, in a Lego transcript, it should be verbatim. All right, it should be a verbatim transcript, meaning that you're supposed to transcribe every word you hear, word by word. Okay, including the filler words, the partial words, the false starts, incorrect grammar, slang, starters, and repetition. You have to include them in your transcript. Okay, right. So the only thing you don't include in verbatim when you come to the Lego transcript are the arms and ahs. All right, the arms, like these ones, the arms here, you can see here. Okay, the arms and the ahs, only those one you're not supposed to include them in your Lego transcript, but there are some jobs which will require you to include everything. Okay, so let's start with what are starters. Starters are this. You can see here where I'm pointing. I am going shopping. So those are the starters, the I. Now in Lego transcript, you don't separate them with this hyphen here, but you're supposed to separate this one with double dashes. Okay, the M dashes or double dashes, and they are supposed to have a space before that I and a space after the double space. All right, so don't worry about that. I'll show you even the practical part, but now I'm just taking you through the guidelines. All right, so the partial words, for example, close the window, I'm freezing. Right, now replace this single dash with a double dash, and you put space before and after the double dashes. That's the Lego transcript. False starts, are you hungry for? There is a great new place on Main Street. So are you hungry for, you put a double dashes. All right, not the single dashes. Okay, for Lego work. Now this guideline I'm passing you through, these ones are for just the verbatim work, not Lego work. Okay, that's why they have put the single dash, but now I'm taking you through the Lego guidelines. All right, so that's what I want you to understand. Then we have the filler words. Okay, filler words like all right, sort of, kind of, sort of. Okay, those are the filler words. Now in Lego transcript, for any filler word, you're supposed to separate with a comma. All right, if it's a filler word, make sure you put a comma, then you continue. All right, So if you want to be good in Lego transcript, you have to understand these four things: the starters, the partial words, the false starts, the filler words. Okay, you have to understand all those words. Okay, so if you don't know about that, just go Google about that. Make sure you understand that before you move on to the next step. Okay, you have to understand those. They are very, very common, and you need to know them. All right, so things like all right, and okay, you are supposed to include them, and you are supposed to place a full stop. Okay, so if most of the lawyers, they will say okay when they start their questioning. Okay, they say okay, so you are supposed to put a full stop. That's count as a complete sentence. Okay, all right. Then there is all right, and you're supposed to spell it the way it is here. Okay, there is ALL, then space, then right. That's how you are supposed to spell it, and that is for most of the Lego transcript. There are others which will tell you to spell it differently, but for the standard Lego guidelines, you are supposed to spell it as two separate words. You have to know that. Okay, now let's move on to the next step. Now these one are the Lego guidelines. All right, so I just wanted you first to know about the starters, the partial words, the false starts, and filler words. Then we continue. So if you are writing somewhere down, just note down that okay, it's a complete sentence, and you are supposed to place a full stop or a period, then you continue. All right, and also all right, it's a complete sentence, especially when they are at the beginning of the sentence. Okay, let's continue. So in Lego transcription, we have different examination. We have direct examination, we have cross examination, we have redirect examination, we have recross examination, further examination, and further direct examination, and further cross examination. All right, so let's understand what they all mean. So direct examination, this is usually the first Anthony to start asking the question. Okay, the first Anthony who will start asking the witness the questions. Okay, so taking Anthony, and the first Anthony to begin questioning the witness. How many times and for whom can I use it? Once. Taking Anthony only. Right, so direct examination is the first Anthony, okay, to question the witness. All right, and even if they go off the record and come back, if that Anthony continue questioning the witness, it's still direct examination. All right, now the objecting Anthony, the one who usually says objection, yeah, that is cross examination, when that Anthony start asking the question. Okay, the same witness is asked the cross examination question by the second Anthony, who is on the opposite side of the maybe he is the defendant or on the plaintiff side. All right, so that's cross examination. You have to put cross examination when that Anthony start asking question or start questioning the witness. All right. Then redirect examination. Now, redirect examination comes after the cross examination. Okay. So if that attorney has finished his or her cross examination, then the attorney who was doing the direct examination want to come and question again the witness, the same witness. Now that one will be redirect examination. All right, that one will be redirect examination. Also, if there is another attorney who is in the same they are on the same side with the first attorney, also that one will be redirect examination. All right, then we have recross examination. So now recross, it comes after the redirect examination. So if you have put redirect examination, then the opposite side counsel start asking again questions on the same witness. Now that one will be recross examination. Okay. Now, if after the recross examination, the direct the first taking attorney start asking the question, that one will be now the further examination. All right. And you, as you can see here, that's how they follow. You can put this, you can't, they have to follow this the way you are seeing them here. That's how they follow. So we start from direct examination, then we have cross examination, counsel on the opposite side of the taking attorney. Then we have redirect examination. This is if the taking attorney start a second set of questioning. All right. Then we have recross examination. Counsel on the opposite side of the taking attorney starts a second set of questioning. All right. Then we have further examination. Then we have further direct examination and further cross examination. So if you don't understand all these, don't worry. When you are going to do the practical part, you are going to get what I'm saying, and you're going to get all these things. All right, so don't worry about that. Right, so let's continue. Okay, now let me show you. So these guidelines are specific for Verbit .ai. That's why they are saying do not create new paragraph in speaker's text, but in general legal transcription, let me show you. Just a moment, I open this one. Now, when you come to paragraph, this is how you are supposed to paragraph your work. Okay, when an attorney speaks for a long time, you are supposed to paragraph when the speaker switches their attention and begins speaking to someone new. All right, that's when you are supposed to paragraph. Okay, when there is a long run-on paragraph of more than 6 lines or normal, carry a new font, double spaced. Okay, now this one I'm going to show you on the practical part, but read clearly. You are supposed to just count to look at your the way the paragraph are. If it's too long paragraph, make sure you cut it according to the guidelines. All right. So for this one is when the work is put in the word format. That's when you are supposed to count 6 lines, then you paragraph. Okay, so you are supposed to paragraph your work. All right, so let's continue. Okay, so in Lego transcript, again we have different speaker names. So in Lego transcript, you are supposed to capitalize all the speakers. Any speaker you put, you have to capitalize it. Okay, not to capitalize it, but to put all the letters in caps. It has to be capital. All right. So judge, for most of the Lego transcript, it should be the court. Okay, so let me switch here. Okay, let me switch to this one and let me look for speaker. Okay, so these are the speaker names you are going to use, and they should be capital. Okay, speakers are noted in all caps. All right, speaker name should be in all caps, so don't put in small, don't just capitalize the first letter. They should be all in caps. Then we have Mr. last name. So if the judge's name was Brown Smith, that's the name of the Anthony Brown Smith. So you are going to say the last name, which is Smith. So the speaker ID is going to be Mr. Smith. All right, Mr. Smith, the last name. Okay, then we have the operator. Most of the Lego transcript don't have the operator, but some of them you are going to encounter that operator. Okay, then we have probation officer. This one is not for most of the Lego transcript, also don't have the probation officer. Okay, then we have the bailiff. So in most of the hearings, you are going to encounter the bailiffs. Okay, if it's a jury trial or jury selection, you are going to see the bailiffs a lot. And bailiff is the person who is saying all rise. All right, most of the time they only say that all rise, just that. So that's the bailiff. Then we have the clerk. Also the clerk is on hearing. Whenever we have the judge, and the judge is the one that we call the court. Okay, so whenever your transcript has the judge or the court, then most probably you will be having the clerk. Now it's not a must that the clerk speaks in your transcript, but this clerk is there when the judge is there. All right, then we have the court reporter. Okay, if you don't know who's the court reporter, you are supposed to just Google and see who is the court reporter. The court reporter is the one that takes down the notes, or takes down the transcript of the proceedings. Okay, then we have the defendant. Okay, this the person. Okay, just go and Google who is the defendant. Okay, and also you Google who is the plaintiff. So in a case, we have two people. We have the plaintiff and the defendant. Okay, then we have the interpreter. That's self-explanatory. We have the witness. Okay, so now the witness is the person who is being asked the question. That is the witness. All right, then if you don't know who is speaking, you are supposed to write unidentified male 1 or unidentified female 1. Right, so let's go back here. So for the court reporter, this one, the court reporter is the for the court reporter does the swear in and checks spellings. Right, that's so when you hear someone swearing in the witness, most probably that will be the court reporter, but it's not always. Even the court swears in the witness, and also sometimes even the videographer will swear in the witness. So you have to be keen, very keen, and understand who is speaking. So if your transcript have all those, if your transcript has the court reporter and has videographer, most probably the court reporter will be the one swearing in the witness, and the videographer will be announcing on and off the record. Right, but if your file doesn't have the videographer, then all those works will be done by the court reporter or the reporter. Okay, so in most of the file, they won't use the court reporter. They are going to use the reporter. Okay, like this one here, the reporter. All right, but others will tell you to use the court reporter, as you have seen in this verbit general legal guidelines. All right, okay, so if this one say if you're doing a deposition, you won't be having the clerk, of course, and also you won't be having the court. No clerk, no court, not the court, no judge in a deposition. They are just the lawyers and the court reporters and the witnesses. Right, okay, let's continue. So so an examination is when a witness is being questioned. The questioning is usually done by an attorney, but is sometimes done by an investigator on behalf of the of an insurance company, etc. The commencement of an examination of a witness by various counsel is indicated direct examination. So what this means is that whenever an attorney start questioning the witness, you are supposed to put the examination for the first time. If it's their first time examining or questioning the witness, make sure you put the examination. So if it's the first if the attorney start questioning the witness, you're supposed to write direct examination. All right, then under that, immediately under the direct examination, we have what is called a byline. Okay, this one is called a byline. This one here, the one with by Mrs. Archer, so that one is a byline. You have to put that. So the Anthony, this is the name of the questioning Anthony, the one which is the Anthony that is asking the question. And just make sure that it's just like this. Okay, just like this, it's capital. All right, then we have this the colon at the end. All right, don't forget that the colon should be there. All right, and then after that, immediately after that, you are supposed to start your transcript, and it's usually Q and A. So for Q is the questioning Anthony. All right, so you put Q. So for Q it's just the Anthony, and for A is the witness. All right, so you are supposed to do that, to write Q and A just after the examination. All right, that's why you are putting here by a byline here, so that they will know that the Q here is Mrs. Archer. All right, the Q here represents Mrs. Archer. Okay, that's why you are supposed to put a byline. All right, then we have what we call colloquy. Colloquy is any interruption in the Q and A. So if there is an interruption, let me come to the colloquy part. This one, colloquy is a dialogue that is not part of an examination, and as such occurs outside of the present line of questioning. For example, when Anthony speaks to the court reporter, when the non-examining Anthony interjects with a question or a clarification, when an Anthony makes an objection, etc. Colloquy follows the format below, starting from the left margin. All right, so colloquy is when the questioning Anthony is questioning the witness, then the other Anthony will come with an objection. Okay, will interject with an objection. Okay, that one will be colloquy, and you are supposed to put what? You are supposed to put by that the objecting Anthony's last name. Okay, so it's Mrs. or Mr. last name. Don't forget it's capital, you all caps. All right, so then we have Mr. So this one is an example. So it's the colloquy is not only for the objecting, even if that Anthony speaks to the court reporter, or if the judge interjects. So all that will be colloquy. So for Q and A, it's only when the questioning Anthony is asking the question. All right, so let's continue. So when the proceedings move from the examination into colloquy, no special notation in the transcript is required. All right, when moving back into the examination after no more than 2 lines of colloquy, no special notation in the transcript is required. The example below shows a transcript moving to and from colloquy during an examination. All right, so like here we have Q and A. Okay, do you recognize this police report? Yes, it's there. Okay, then we have Mr. Brown here who comes and interjects. Okay, I'd like to mark this as an exhibit 1, please. Do you need a copy of it, George? Then Mr. Johnson, I have a copy, but thank you. So you can see now the questioning Anthony starts again asking the witness the questions. Had you received a copy of this? Okay, now before that, okay, now this one is for for verbit. This guideline is for verbit, but for general guidelines, for most of the transcript, you are supposed to put a byline before this Q. All right, before you start with this Q, right here, this one, because there is a colloquy, there is an interruption here by Mr. Brown and Mr. Johnson. So you are supposed to put a byline there, and you just say by Mrs. The questioning Anthony. All right, you have to put that byline. Okay. Let's continue. Let's see if this byline is given here. Yeah, you put like this one, then you continue by Q and A. So let's see, for example, yeah, this one gives a good example. You can see this one, then there's this interruption here. All right, that then you put this one by Mr. Harris. Now this byline, for most of the transcript, even if there is just one objection, if there is only one interruption, either objection or interruption by the court or anyone else, you are supposed to put that byline. But in some companies, we require you, maybe if there is just 3 or more than 2 interruption, that's when you put the byline. But just know that you're supposed to put that after every interruption, you are supposed to put the byline, unless now the company guidelines changes. All right. Okay, let's continue. Then we have these are called parenthetical. This is called off the record. All right. For example, this one is Mrs. Allen is saying, sorry to interrupt again. Can we take a quick break? Sure. Let's take a 5-minute break. So you need to put off the record there. Then after they come out of the record, they are back on the record, you are supposed to put a byline, okay, so that we know who is questioning Anthony. You can't just start a Q&A without the byline. You have to put the byline. All right, so let's continue. Okay, we are moving on. So we have this these I don't know if they are called notations. So for the inaudible, this one is the most common. Okay, so if you don't understand if you can't hear what the speaker is saying because of maybe some noises or difficult accents, you are supposed to put inaudible. All right, there are other company which will just tell you to put like indiscernible, or others will tell you to put unintelligible. Okay, others will tell you to put internet interruption. So it's up to the companies, but this one is the most common. After you understand this one, changing is not a problem, but you just need to understand that that one is when you can't hear what the speaker is saying. All right, then we have phonetic. Phonetic is when you hear the name but you can't confirm that name. All right, you can't confirm it on Google. There is no notes. All right, you have just spelled it the way you have heard it. So that's when you put the phonetic there. All right, but when you confirm it maybe on Google or what, you are not supposed to put the phonetic, or if it's provided by the court reporter, you're not supposed to write phonetic. For no verbal response, this is when maybe the witness, and just note the way it is no verbal response. Okay, there is even a full stop there. Just note that, and that's how you're supposed to put it. So this occurs when the witness is asked the question and maybe just nods their head, so you are not even able to hear what they are saying because they have just noted their head. So that is called a non-verbal response, and the speaker ID will be that person that was being asked the question. If it's A or the witness, that will be the speaker ID. All right, then let's continue. We are done with all these. Let's go to sync. Sync is inserted after a word that is used incorrectly or mispronounced and is not immediately corrected. Sync is used to indicate that the word was transcribed exactly as it was spoken and that it was the error of the speaker, not the company producing the transcript. Okay, the use of sync. Okay, this thing is not used. Most of the transcript is not used. All right, so just read about it, but it's not mostly used. All right, just it's good knowledge to know that it exists. Okay. Okay, let's continue. So most of these, the sneezes, the coughs, the phone rings, in Lego transcript we don't include these ones. So we don't include this one in most of the Lego transcript. So unless the company require you to put that. Okay, so let's continue. So something like this, this one, the crosstalk, we don't put it in Lego transcript. What you usually do, if there is crosstalk, you just write what you have heard, then you just put the double dashes at the end. All right, then you continue with the next thing. Although I'm going to show you when you are going to do the practical part, how you are supposed to do that. If there is any interruption, you also do that. You just put the double dashes. Okay, let me continue. Okay, we've talked about the off the record, so I'm not going to repeat again. All right. So for the satisfied questions or objection, so most of these you are not going to have them in most of the transcript, but it's a good idea to know that. All right, this one, the satisfied objections. Okay. So we are going to go on the marking the exhibit. So how are you supposed to mark the exhibit? So this one should be capitalized. You're supposed to put this exhibit with a capital E, and the number, if it's a 1, you put the digit 1. All right. So let's see, for example, this one, you can see it's exhibit 1. All right, exhibit 1. So whenever you have exhibit it, you have to capitalize that E. All right, the E you have to capitalize it, and this one you have to put in digits. If it's a 1, a 2, a 3, a 10, a 14, you have to put in that. All right, Then again, I've seen this one. So when there is a reduction of this one, or the omission of, maybe someone want to say 2020 but says 20, or 2024 and says just 24, you are supposed to put that hyphen there before that 24. Okay, just to show that there is something that is missing there. All right. Okay, now how do you mark an exhibit? All right. So now, as you can see here, they have capitalized this, but for others you won't be required to capitalize everything. Just the exhibit, the E in exhibit, just that one. So it's up now, it's up to the company's guidelines, but this one, it's very important thing to note, how you are supposed to mark the exhibit. Now let me show you. As you can see here, this one is the Anthony, the questioning Anthony is saying, I'll mark your notice of deposition as exhibit 1, and this 07 medical report will be exhibit 2. Now I believe you mentioned that you've seen this medical record before. Is it right? Now you can see that the lawyer has marked the exhibit, okay, the notice of deposition as exhibit 1 and the medical report as exhibit 2. So he has marked two exhibit 1 and exhibit 2, whereby exhibit 1 is the notice of deposition and exhibit 2 is the medical report. All right. Now, and he has continued to ask the witness the question. Now before the witness answers the question, you have to put these parentheticals. Okay, that one is a must, and this one is for all the legal transcript. The only differences that there will be is just the capitalization, like that, but most of, like all of them, we require you to put this one after an exhibit has been marked. All right. So when you hear that, I'll mark, okay, I'll mark your notice. All right, that's how you are supposed to put this one. So you are supposed to come exhibit 1 marked for identification, exhibit 2 marked for identification. Okay. So other company will tell you to combine the two, and you are supposed just to write exhibit 1 and 2 were marked for identification, something like that. All right. So it's up to company, but marking is a must. You can see it's before the witness answers the question. All right. So that one is very important, but I'm going just to show you in a clean transcript that we are going to do. Okay, for the requested readbacks, playbacks. All right, this is when the court reporter is asked to play back an audio or read back a question. Now you are supposed to put the parentheticals. Okay, reporter plays back requested testimony, or reporter reads back requested testimony. All right. So you have to put those parentheticals when that happens. All right. Like this one, you can see how it said, court reporter, can you please read me the last answer from witness before we went off record? Now you are supposed to write reporter plays back requested testimony. All right. And as you can see, there is no any it's not transcribed. It's played, but you are not supposed to transcribe it, but you are supposed just to put that parenthetical there. Right. Okay, let's continue. I'm taking you through what I'm seeing. It's the general Lego guidelines. So let me. So the things I was telling you about the interruption, like this one at the top, this one here at the top, it says patient complained. Then there's an interruption. This one is an interruption. The witness says okay, so that one is an interruption, and you can see there's a double dash there, and there's a double dash here to show that it's a continuation of this sentence here, right? Yeah. Now you should also note that when the when maybe the witness is speaking and the attorney interjects or interrupts by saying or just to show that he's following the conversation, you don't include that. For the antonyms, you don't include the arms or that the just, you don't include those, okay? Yeah? Just to show that he's listening. Don't include that for the antony. But when if it is the witness who is saying that, who is saying you are supposed to include. All right, so you are supposed to know that. Okay, let's continue. These one are called the tags question. For most of the transcript or Lego transcript will require you to put a semicolon when the tag question is 3 words. All right, so if the tag question is 3 words, you are supposed to put the semicolon. But if it's 2, don't put you just put a comma. If it's 4, you put a period, and you put it as a separate sentence. Right, so let's continue. Yeah, like here you can see this one is just 1 word. You just put comma. I think we have covered a lot. So as I told you, like this one is the in verbiage you are supposed to write, Judge Smith, did you go to the doctor? But for most of the transcript, like 99% of the Lego transcript, you are not going to put the judge last name, Judge Smith. You are supposed to write the court, right? The court. Okay. So you just need to know that. Just keep in mind you are supposed to use the court. Then if there is substitution, you can substitute according to the company's guidelines, because it's not even the court only or the judge last name. There are others which use different naming for the judge. Okay, I think I've shown you a lot of things. Then there's this one word called Your Honor. So always in all transcript, always you are supposed to capitalize Y and H for Your Honor. And also when the judge is mentioned, if there is a name judge is being mentioned inside the transcript. Even the judge, you are supposed to capitalize the J, all right, because they are referring to the, it's a pronoun for the judge. You are supposed to put in capital. Okay, just as you can see here. Okay, I'm just trying to rush because we are going to be dwelling on, I'll provide different practical audios which we are going to do. All right, let's continue. Then we have this one, the etc. When a speaker says etc on a Lego transcript, just write the whole word, it, etc. Right, the whole word. Okay. Another thing, I don't think it is here, but I've remembered it because of this, the word dollar. When the word pound is mentioned, pound, 20 pound, like so, you are supposed to write that word. It's 20, then the word pound, not the symbol. Okay, for most of the Lego transcript, we don't use the symbol for the pound, but when it's maybe $20, we use the symbol for that. Right, let's continue. Okay, another thing which is very, very important, you are supposed to write this for the time, the AM and the PM. You are supposed to write them in small letter with the periods. That's for the legal work. And of course, for the time, if it's 2 p.m., you are supposed to write 2, then colon, then 00, then AM or PM, according to the way you can see them here, PM and AM. All right. Okay. Let's continue. Okay, now for the dates, you are going to find dates a lot in your transcript, in Lego transcript, and this is how you are supposed to put the dates. All right, you need to put the comma there, then the year. All right, this one is when the other has been left out. You write that. All right. Now for this one is specific for verbit, because most of the transcript will just require you to put the ST, but it should not be this one, the, what do we call, the superscript. It should not be the superscript. Just write the normal, just ST, no superscript or subscript. Okay, let's continue. Yeah, this one is what I was telling you. I got home at 8 p.m. This is how you are supposed to write your time. All right. Yeah. Then we have the percent. Now for most of the transcript, you are going to write the word percent and not the symbol, but for others company, you are going to put the symbol. So that one is up to the companies, the way they want you to write that. Okay. Then for the phone numbers, also this one is different. Every company has their own way of writing these numbers. Others will tell you to put these parentheses, others will not tell you to put that. So that one is different for all companies. These guidelines are specific for Verbit.ai, but I'm just showing you the common one, the general ones. So like this one, all affirmative noises grants such as are transcribed as Now this one is for most of the transcripts. Most of the companies will use this one, right? So it's very important for you to stick to this one. So this one is for the affirmative. Okay, if someone is agreeing to what is being said, that one is how you write it. If that person is not agreeing, you write and this one, okay, it should not be like most of them will not put this one. They will put right? So most of the companies will not include this the first end here, but the rest will be like this one, like so. Okay, most of them will use that one without the first end here. So just note that, and if I were you, I would stick to that one first, the okay, so that when you read the guideline, the company like guidelines, and they tell you otherwise, you are supposed to, you are able to change that as fast as possible. Yeah, like this one. This one is what I was saying. Okay, so this one is for the negative noises, and this one is for the affirmative noises. All right, that's how you are supposed to write it, right? Okay, let me see if we are done. Then we have this one. For most of the companies, we are going to use the email with a hyphen, but not all of them. Okay, you have to be keen with that. So all those things I'm telling you, you are supposed to look when you are given the guidelines by the company. Just note those things. Okay. Internet, this one I think is for all the companies. Will require you to capitalize the I in the internet, .com, like that. Okay, yeah, I think we are done with most of the guidelines. Now what is remaining is the practical part. So I've taken you through the guidelines. I know I've rushed through the guidelines, but at least if you have followed me, you have understood what I'm saying and what I'm pointing out. So we are going to do a transcript from scratch with you, and you are going to see how all those things are being applied. All right, so thank you for watching this video. If you have not subscribed to my video, please consider subscribing, and that will I'll appreciate so much. Thank you for watching.